Hello everyone, welcome to VLSI Chaps YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about India's semiconductor mission. India's semiconductor mission is a specialized and independent business division within the Digital India Corporation that aims to build a vibrant semiconductor and display ecosystem to enable India's emergence as a global hub for electronics manufacturing and design. Led by global experts of the semiconductor and display ecosystem, the mission aims to serve as a focal point for the comprehensive, coherent, efficient and smooth deployment of the program for development of semiconductor and display ecosystem in consultation with the government ministries, departments, agencies, industry and academic. We know that in 2020, in response to the 2020 China-India skirmishes, means a small battle, Indian engineer, educator and innovator Sonam Wangchuk appealed to Indians to use your wallet power and boycott Chinese products. He called for India to stop using Chinese software in a week and hardware in a year. As a result, TikTok, WeChat, Hello and UC browser search applications are banned in India. Additionally, the Board of Control for Cricket in IPL the IPL title sponsorship deal with Chinese smartphone manufacturer Vivo for 1 year after India's border standoff with China. Additionally, in 2020, Xiaomi, Oppo, Realme, OnePlus, Vivo accounted for approximately 2 in 3 smartphone sales in India. On the other hand, Samsung and Nokia, both companies that once led the market, together accounted for about a third of smartphone sales. In spite of the campaign and ongoing rhetoric, retailers have stated that the growing rhetoric is unlikely to sway consumer behavior, especially due to alleged value for money in Chinese products, especially smartphones. Chinese companies also invest heavily in Indian companies. 18 out of 30 of India's billion-dollar startups are funded by China. Major Chinese investment firms like Alibaba Group and Tencent hold investments in major companies that are considered to be Indian like Byju's, Zomato, Ola Cabs and Flipkart. In spite of the Indian government recording the origin of foreign direct investment, many Chinese companies exploit loopholes by investing in Indian companies through their non-Chinese subsidiaries. For example, Alibaba's investment in Paytm was by Alibaba Singapore Holding Private Limited. Hence, this investment don't get recorded in India's government data as Chinese investment. So we have to know to such Chinese hardware too. After such incidents, Indian government recently announced the Semicon India program with a total outlay of over $10 billion. Information Technology Minister Ashwini Vishnu launched the India Semiconductor Mission on Wednesday. Speaking to journalists, Vishnu said, companies which are interested in tapping the 76,000 crore rupees incentives earmarked by the Center for the Development of Semiconductors and Display Manufacturing Ecosystem in India can begin applying for the same from January 1. The schemes have been notified and uploaded on the website. A portal for the same has been prepared for receiving the applications. Come January 1, 2022 onwards, we will start receiving the applications, Vishnu said. The mission is authorized to negotiate with the applicants under the Semiconductor Fab Scheme and the Display Fab Scheme. This mission has been given the autonomy to decide the appropriate technology mix, applications, node generation, capacity among others and propose the structure and quantum of fiscal support for the selected applicants. A fab is short for fabrication plant where raw silicon wafers are processed and turned into integrated circuits. Semicon startup are truly catalyzing India's electronics and semiconductor ecosystem, said Rajiv Chandrasekhar, Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology and Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. May this tribe increases. I am confident that the next unicorn will be from here. Chandrasekhar, who once worked as a chip designer in the Silicon Valley, US, and is former entrepreneur, said startups will be the growth engine of Indian technology. In his interactions, Chandrasekhar urged startups to share their thoughts on policy support, fiscal impetus, and other asks from the government. The conference had started working on technology and semiconductor application in various segments. Among them was Signal Chip, an Indian semiconductor company that has built chipsets from the baseband processing SoCs system on a chip to mix signal devices to RF front ends. It has created Agumbe series of baseband, India's first chipsets for 5G 4G network, LTE and 3G WCDMA standards. Our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated Semicon India Conference 2022 through video conferencing. The three-day event is taking place in Bangalore. Speaking on this occasion, Prime Minister underlined the critical role of semiconductor in today's world and said that our collective aim is to be established India as one of the key partners in global semiconductor supply chain. He said India wants to work in this direction based on the principle of high tech, high quality and high reliability. During the program, the Prime Minister underlined 6 reasons for India being an attractive investment destination for semiconductor technology. The 6 main reasons are as under. First, India is building a digital infrastructure to connect over 1.3 billion Indians. Describing the strides that India has recently made in the field of financial inclusion, banking and digital payment revolution, the Prime Minister said that India is using digital technology to transform lives in all sectors of governance from health and welfare to inclusion and empowerment. Mr. Modi said with steps like connecting 600,000 villages with broadband, investment in developing capabilities in 5G, IoT and clean energy technologies, India is paving the way to lead the next technology revolution. Third, India is headed for robust economic growth with the world's fastest growing startup ecosystem. India's own consumption of semiconductor is expected to cross $80 billion by 2026 and $110 billion by 2030. As the fourth point, the Prime Minister said India has undertaken wide-ranging reforms for improving the ease of doing business in India. Fifthly, Mr. Modi said that India has made heavy investments in skilling and training young Indians for the needs of the 21st century. He said the country has an exceptional semiconductor design talent pool which makes up to 20% of the world's semiconductor design engineers. The Prime Minister said India has undertaken several measures toward transforming an Indian manufacturing sector. Sixthly, at a time when humanity was fighting the once-in-a-century pandemic, India was not only improving the health of our people but also the health of our economy. Mr. Modi acknowledged the need and government support and assured the audience of the best efforts to the government to provide a conducive environment for business. The three-day conference being organized to take forward the vision of the Prime Minister to make India a leader in electronics and manufacturing, semiconductor design, manufacturing and innovation. Now we will talk about India's semiconductor goal. In earlier time, industries were ready to the work, but government was like not gate. Government was like not gate. When input flows output into the not gate, it's neglected. But now government is behave like a AND gate. While industry works have end, government works even harder. The initiative is also expected to help India achieve its goal of being self-sufficient in electronics manufacturing by attracting significant investments and creating 35,000 specialized jobs in addition to 1 lakh indirect jobs. Additionally, companies involved in silicon semiconductor fabs, display fabs, compound semiconductors, silicon photonics, sensor fabs, semiconductor packaging and semiconductor design have been offered incentives. However, recently it was reported that IT Ministry has established an expert advisory council to help India achieve its goal of being a global leader in this field. It was also said that senior government officials, established academicians as well as industry and domain professionals make up the advisory group of experts. Now, what are the timeline of this semiconductor project? On December 15, 2021, India's Unicorn Cabinet approved the Semicon India program with an outlay of Indian rupees 760 billion for the development for a sustainable semiconductor and display manufacturing ecosystem in India. On December 30, 2021, it was announced that the government can start receiving company proposals under the program. The Minister of Electronics and Information Technology, Yashwini Vishnu, said all the schemes have been notified, uploaded on the website, and the portal has been prepared for receiving the applications. So, on January 1, 2022 onwards, we will start receiving the applications. On January 16, 2022, the MeitY announced it is seeking application from 100 domestic companies, startups and MSMEs under its design linked incentive scheme, which is part of the program for development of semiconductor and display manufacturing ecosystem in India. At last, on February 19, 2022, the Indian government confirmed that it had received applications from 5 such companies to establish electronic chip and display manufacturing plants with an investment of Indian rupees 1.53 trillion. The window for the applications of the semiconductor chip design and manufacturing scheme was previously February 15 but has now to be extended. Speaking to the Economic Times, the Minister of State for Electronics and IT, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, said that there is no deadline as such. Conversations with many global leaders are ongoing and so extending the date is certain, said Chandrasekhar. The government understands that this is a very time-intensive decision and made more so due to travel and physical meeting restrictions due to pandemic. Next, PLI production linked incentives. First, we want to discuss about semiconductor fabs and display fabs. The scheme for setting up for semiconductor fabs and display fabs in India shall extend fiscal support of up to 50% of project cost of all the eligible applicants, treating them on an equal footing. The applicants must be equipped with the technology as well as capacity to execute such highly capacity intensive and resource intensive projects. The central government will work closely with the state governments to establish high-tech clusters with requisite infrastructure in terms of land, semiconductor-grade water, high-quality power, logistics, and the research ecosystem. These clusters will be responsible for granting approvals to applications for setting up at least 2 greenfield semiconductor fabs and 2 display fabs in India. Next, Semiconductor Laboratory (SCL). The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology will explore possibilities for a joint venture between the Semiconductor Laboratory and a commercial fab partner to modernize the SCL's brownfield fab facility. Compound semiconductors, silicon photonics, sensors including MEMS fabs and semiconductor ATMP OSAT units. The scheme for setting up these facilities in India shall extend fiscal support for 30% of capital expenditure to approved units. It is expected that a minimum of 15 such units of compound semiconductors and semiconductor packaging will be established under this scheme. Next, semiconductor design companies. The design linked incentive scheme under this comprehensive package will extend product design linked incentive of up to 50% of eligible expenditure. Additionally, product deployment linked incentive of 6% on net sales for 5 years will also be provided. Under this scheme, support will be offered to 100 domestic companies of semiconductor design for integrated circuits, chipsets, system on chips, system and IP cores and semiconductor linked design. This scheme will also aid in facilitating the growth of not less than 20 such companies which can achieve turnover of more than Indian rupees 50,000 million over the next 5 years. Next, categories for the project support. Category A, well-established integrated devices manufacturers, foundries, Indian company or consortia with Indian industry partner. Having state-of-the-art, mainstream, complementary metal oxide semiconductor technology nodes for fabricating processors, memories, analog, digital, mixed signal integrated circuits. Second, desires of setting up expanding existing semiconductor fabrication in India, preferably with a node size of 80 nanometer or lower wafer size of 300 nanometer and a capacity of 30,000 WSPM or more. In category B, well-established integrated devices manufacturers, foundries, Indian company or consortia with Indian industry partner. Having state-of-the-art compound semiconductor-based emerging technologies for fabricating high-frequency, high-power optoelectronic devices. Desires of setting up expanding existing semiconductor fabs in India, preferably a wafer size of 200 nanometer or more. Next, in category C, Indian companies consortia interested in the acquisition of semiconductor fabs outside India. Submission of EOL proposal. The EOI proposal may be submitted in the form of preliminary project report detailing the following: category A, B, C for which the EOI is being submitted: proposed location, land, water and power requirement, technology specifications including proposed process technologies, nodes, wafer sizes, products, process wafer, ICs, post ATMP, OSAT, provision to manufacture compound semiconductor devices, technology availability, proposed tie-ups for acquiring technology. Next, India can become semiconductor nation, says Intel top executive. PM says India eyeing a key role in semiconductor supply chain. Aim to establish India as a key ally in global chip supply chain, Modi. Electronics production boom makes a solid case of chip making. PM to open Semicon India Conference 2022. About this curriculum, We have started 2 courses, one at the undergraduate level and one at the diploma level, to support the semiconductor industry. These courses will be rolled out this year. The UG program, undergraduate program, will be 4 years and the diploma is 3 years. We have had courses in electronics before but never one chip. VLSI design and fabrication, India needs new design in chips for building applications. Additionally, we aim to bring 50,000 students for the lower level, 30,000 for the middle level and 5,000 for the higher level for the semiconductor industry. We already have IIT and NITs, but once we introduce courses to other premium technical institutes in India, it will take care of industry demand. This MOU is between AICTE and Semitech Service India Private Limited and Indian Semiconductor Mission and VLSI Society of India. For our courses, this MOU will ensure our students will get industry partners. This will help take care of things like our curriculum will be futuristic. Second, the training of our faculty member in designing those courses and so on. I want to congratulate to Team India. We have started our own semiconductor industries. At last, I wish you success and good luck of Team India. Thank you so much for watching. We are going to posting such videos, so if you want to updated about semiconductors, subscribe our channel. If you found this video interesting and informative, please like us by pressing thumb the icon and share with your friends. We are also welcoming you all to join us on different platforms such as Telegram, Quora Space, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Thank you.